indeed. Love more ancient, bliss eternal, may our hearts soon be merged in thee.
The voice of God calls us to awaken him. How will he find us when he comes?
Awake and ready.
And when he asks us to dedicate ourselves ever more perfectly to him, how will he find us?
Awake and ready.
Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
Heavenly Father,
Heavenly Father,
friend, beloved God,
friend, beloved God,
great masters,
great masters,
Jesus Christ,
Jesus Christ,
Babaji Krishna,
Babaji Krishna,
Lahiri Mahashaya,
Lahiri Mahashaya,
Swami Shri Yukteswar,
Swami Shri Yukteswar,
beloved Master,
beloved Master,
Paramahansa Yogananda,
Paramahansa Yogananda,
saints of all religions,
saints of all religions,
we humbly bow before thee.
we humbly bow before thee.
Awaken within us
Awaken within us
thy spiritual qualities
thy spiritual
of
qualities
divine love,
of divine love,
of divine joy,
of divine joy,
and divine wisdom,
divine wisdom,
that we may find thee
that we may find
and
thee
share thee with all.
and share thee with all.
Om. Peace.
Peace.
Amen. Please have a seat.
Yes, it's she, the divine Mother, she who made the universe. Yes, it's she, the divine Mother, ruler of every heart's desire. Love more ancient, bliss eternal, may our hearts soon be merged in thee. Yes, it's she, the divine Mother, she who made the universe. Yes, it's she, the divine Mother, ruler of every heart's desire. Love more ancient, bliss eternal, may our hearts soon be merged in thee. Love more ancient, bliss eternal, may our hearts soon be merged in thee.
Continue to meditate as you listen to these words on our affirmation for this week on love. One finds love not by being loved, but by loving. We can never know love if we try to draw others to ourselves, nor can we find it by centering our love in them. For love is infinite. It is never ours to create. We can only channel it from its source and infinity to all whom we meet. The more we forget ourselves in giving to others, the better we can understand what love really is. And the more we love as channels for God's love, the more we can understand that His is the one love in all the universe. Now let's affirm together, first in a strong voice. I will love others.
I will love others
As extensions of my own self.
as extensions of my own self,
And of the love I feel from God.
and of the love I feel from God.
And taking it a little more inward. I will love others.
I will love others
As extensions of my own self.
as extensions of my own self,
And and of the love I feel from God.
And of the love I feel from God.
And now in a whisper, with even deeper focus though, I will love others as extensions of my own self, and of the love I feel from God. And now silently, mentally broadcasting it at the point between the eyebrows. I will love others as extensions of my own self, and of the love I feel from God. I will love others as extensions of my own self, and of the love I feel from God. And please pray silently with me. O Infinite One, make me a channel for thy love. Through me, reach out to sow seeds of love in barren hearts everywhere. Om. Peace. Amen. Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
And welcome to our Sunday service. Happy New Year to those we haven't seen, and welcome to those joining online. My name is Dharmadevi. This is my husband, Narayan, for any of those who don't know us. This is week 2 from Rays of the One Light weekly commentaries on the Bible and Bhagavad Gita by Swami Ananda. Did God create the universe or become it? Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. The Gospel of St. John, chapter 1, contains a passage that explains the essential truth that creation is a process of becoming. The universe is not separate from God, the Creator, but a part of Him, even as our own dream creations during sleep are figments of our consciousness. God's is the life, God's the reality. Not a melody could be composed, not a poem written, were the melody and the poem not already there, waiting to be expressed. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Ego-directed desire is like static. It distorts the radioed messages of infinity. But the pristine impulse from the divine, undistorted by limitation and delusion, is the life that gives rise to all that is. As the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita states, I am the fluidity of water. I am the silver light of the moon and the golden light of the sun. I am the Om chanted in all the Vedas, the cosmic sound moving as if soundlessly through the ether. I am the manliness of men. I am the good sweet smell of the moist earth. I am the luminescence of fire, the sustaining life of all living creatures. I am self-offering in those who would expand their little lives into cosmic life. O Arjuna, know me as the eternal seed of all creatures. In the perceptive, I am their perception. In the great, I am their greatness. In the glorious, it is I who am their glory. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind.
Good morning again, friends. I'm going to share from Whispers from Eternity. These are prayer demands by Paramahansa Yogananda. And this is called Hidden in the Ashes of Burnt Sadness, I Found Thy Golden Presence. Father Divine, banish me not in silence. I stand lonely without Thee. Let me not become imprisoned in my work so that I forget Thee. I will go within in meditation to bring Thee without into the marketplace of life. Wherever thou dost place me, there must thou come. Hidden within the ashes of my burnt sadness, I shall find thy golden presence. I think some of you are here for Christmas, and every year we have a ravioli lunch. I know some people are gluten-free, dairy-free, and there's all sorts of dietary restrictions amongst people in California, particularly. So I don't mean any offense to anyone. No, every year it just has become a tradition. My mother used to make homemade ravioli, and it was my great-grandmother's recipe. So when I moved to California, I wanted to continue that tradition. And so this year we had it again here at the Christmas happened to be on a Sunday, as I'm sure you recall. And we had the ravioli lunch after the service. And there are just some moments that are so paradoxical that they prove the existence of God. Now the raviolis have gained so much magnetism over the past 6 years that we have people that come just for the ravioli and not for the service. And that was the case this year. We probably had like 6 to 7 people that came just for the raviolis. So there was one woman that came just for the ravioli. This is Christmas Day, and a mutual friend of mine, I had never met this woman before. A mutual friend introduces me to her and says, "Narayan, can you talk to so-and-so? She's really, she's interested, but she's Jewish, and she doesn't understand the need for the guru. Can you explain the whole guru discipleship thing to her?" And I was just, inside, I had just had this mirth. I thought how appropriate that my mother brought this woman to me on Christmas Day to talk to her about understanding the need for a guru. Anyway, she did ask some questions and I answered, and I don't think it really sunk in at all because we were on the level of the intellect. And you know how Master Yogananda Ji says, your reason follows your feeling nature, right? So when your feeling is disturbed, your reason follows that. That's why it's very important on the spiritual path to first, yes, like the chanting, to churn up the feeling in the heart, but then calm it down. You want to still that feeling, to offer it up. So she kept asking like question after question, and I had to answer it, and then I just realized this is not really, I'm not sure this is really helping her. I said, "Would you like some ravioli?" So we sat down, and we had one serving of ravioli, and we had a second serving, and I had a third serving. I don't think she did. But what I realized is the more ravioli she ate, the more relaxed she became, and the more we were able to connect on a heart level. And there wasn't any ostensible spiritual teachings, air tags. It was just two people conversing as friends. And I felt that I had made a new friend, and she thanked me when she left that day. And whether she comes onto the spiritual path or not means absolutely nothing. It would mean something to her. It doesn't mean anything to me. By that I mean nishkam karma, just giving without thought of what you get in return. And there's no, Scott is actually taking the vow of discipleship today. There's no, like Swamiji said, there's no conversion. The only conversion is the conversion to your higher self, right? That's why Yogananda called it self-realization. I was thinking too about Divine Mother, because this reading, to God create the universe or become it, is talking about that feminine aspect of God. Pranayam is the cosmic world. There's the still aspect of God, the Father, but when in the beginning was the Word and the Word was God, that Word, that cosmic vibration, is the Divine Mother. Now we have images of the Divine Mother to help us vocalize our devotion. But it's so sweet when you feel that touch of God, because Divine Mother is God in creation. Everything is God. Right? It's the delusion that we feel ourselves separate from each other and from God. There's only one God, there's only one reality. But we need those reminders. When Dharmadevi and I were driving up to Ananda Village last week, and it was an impromptu visit, it was unplanned. And as we were driving up, we knew that there was a snowstorm up in the Sierra foothills, and then it got worse and worse, and all of a sudden we heard there's a foot of snow. And so we're driving, but we can no longer, head up. We were in Sacramento before the snow hit, or before Sacramento, and we didn't know where we were going to stay. So one of our friends suggested, we were thinking in the rational mind, the conscious mind, what are you going to do? We'll have to stay in a hotel in Sacramento. And one of our friends came in with a super conscious solution. Why don't you call Ananda, the ashram in Sacramento? And I was like, duh, of course. Our friends Nirmala and Dharmadas, they're the acharyas, the spiritual directors there. They're beautiful souls. Beautiful souls. And so we did. And it was 7 o'clock at night, and I said, "Hi, Nirmala. We're on our way to Ananda Village, but there's a foot of snow up there, and we don't have anywhere to stay. Is there any place in the community that we could just stay for the night?" And she said, "Hold on a second." And she called me back a couple minutes later, and she said, "Well, yeah, you can come to our place here, da da da." And anyway, we got there around 9 o'clock. And it was just like being embraced by Divine Mother. And they had a place for us. We got to meditate in the temple there the next morning, and she made a breakfast for us. And I just felt like just that surrender Dharmadevi was talking about, not the passive surrender, but just the opening to, what do you have in mind, Divine Mother? And then the next morning, so we had this beautiful breakfast, and then the next morning, our friend Nishtam texted us and said, "Hey, I'm in Sacramento. You guys want to come over to Mom's for lunch?" And we were like, and it was still snowing at the village. It was getting worse. So we said, "Sure. What do you have in mind, Divine Mother?" So we went over to Mom. Mom's is his mother-in-law, Irene, his wife's mother. Some of you know her. She's a saintly woman. This is a woman, a Mexican woman who has images of Divine Mother all throughout her home. She has the Immaculate Conception, she has big Lady Guadalupe, and all very devout Catholic woman. She was actually, this is a side story, up in Ananda Village one time, and she kept walking about, and Irene, her daughter, lost her for like an hour or so, and she came back and she was in this ecstatic state, and she had actually had a vision of Yogananda. So this second visit was just like a second showering of Divine Mother's blessings. And then the real cherry on top is when we got to Ananda Village. I lived at Ananda Village for 6 years. I went from the East Coast to there. And I hadn't been to the village in a while for a special celebration. And we were there for Master's birthday on the Thursday, the 5th. I was so deeply moved because all the community comes together for this celebration, but at the end, everyone goes up to the altar just to offer a flower, right? To offer love and devotion to the Guru, as an outward symbol of that. And the chanting during it something happened, and I was so deeply moved, and why is my heart feeling so full? And it was the dedication and devotion of all these people, and seeing that reflection in everyone there. It's like different facets of a diamond. And that's how we can ascend back to God, is by seeing God everywhere, and in everyone, and in everything. I'd like to I want to share with you from the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, dagnabbit, I lost the page. That's okay. The reading, you remember, I am the manliness. There's one part, I am the manliness in men. I never, I am the manliness in men. I never knew that or thought about that part of the Gita. But, Swamiji in the interpretation said the manliness in men that Krishna is referring to is mankind's, men and women, mankind's sacred gift of free will. That we can use that power that God has bestowed on us to choose the light. And I found that deeply inspiring to think about how we can come up to the altar ourselves and offer our flower of devotion. One of Yogananda's chants, you probably have heard it, in secret in my soul, I will gather blossoms for thee. Dipping them in devotion, I will lay them at thy feet. This is a deep yogic chant, right? These things are beautiful, but there's the truth to them is talking again about the heart center married with I will lay them at thy feet, the feet of the infinite, at the point between the eyebrows. I, everywhere. This is what Yogananda talked about in Samadhi. But that can only be cultivated through bhakti, through devotion in the heart that's offered up. That's why there's these images of the lotus flower in receptivity, offering ourselves inward and upward. So did God create the universe or become it? She became it. So let us become one with her.